It's a trap!
Yep, you heard it. It is a trap. Edge of Eternity has a lot of traps, and be careful when you buy those expensive cards. They may look good on paper, but in reality is not good in practice. So instead, you can buy these 10 cards to avoid those traps and upgrade your commander decks or your collection. In this video, I'll be recommending 10 Edge of Eternity main set cards and 10 Stellar side cards for your commander decks or your collection. Hi everyone, welcome to Zap Zap Magic. I'm Darren, and today we're gonna talk about the 10 must-have cards from Edge of Eternity and the Stellar side bonus sheet. So let's begin. Number 10 is actually a series of lands that are introduced in this set, and they are the Shock lands. The Shock lands are back in Standard, and if you miss getting them back in Ravnica Remastered, then this is the perfect time to get these lands. You can get Breeding Pool, Godless Shrine, Sacred Foundry, Stomping Ground, and Watery Grave from Edge of Eternity. Why are they so important? Because they have the basic land type in their card type, which means your fetch land can get them. Nature's Law, Farseek, Tree Visit can also get them. Some white ram cards like Scholar of New Horizon, Core Cartographer, Knight of the White Orchid can also get them too. Moreover, you can pay 2 life to make them come in untapped, so you can use them right away. Fixing your mana base is very important so you can cast your spell on curve. Number 9 is Tanuk, Memorial Endsight. This Kavu pilot can ping your opponent whenever you play a land, and then if it's a second time this ability resolved, you get to draw a card. A non-blue card draw engine in a red-green card is very hard to come by. Now all your fetch land or those cheap fetch land can turn into a consistent pinger and card draw engine. You definitely want this in any red-green landfall deck or any color combination that has red-green in it. Card draw engine is so scarce, you definitely don't want to miss this. Speaking of card draw engine, here's another one called the Endstone, who is number 8 on my list. 7 mana cost is very expensive, but I can guarantee the payoff is worth it. You can draw a card whenever you play a land or cast a spell. The downside is that this ability is a mandatory card draw, so you don't really have a choice when drawing a card. And on your end step, your life total is gonna become half of your starting life total. This means in a commander game, your life will become 20. If your life is above 20, then this might be a dangerous card because you will lose tons of life. However, if your life is below 20, then you can somehow gain back your life, which is insane if you have cards like Bolas' Citadel with you. Anyway, you can either cast this for 7 or you could cheat this out by playing these cards. Here's another expensive artifact, but it is a spacecraft and it is called the Extinguisher Battleship. When this enters, you get to destroy target non-creature permanent, which means you can destroy artifacts, enchantments, planeswalkers, battles, and or lands. Then this spacecraft deals 4 damage to each creature. If you station this to 5 or more charge counter, and it turns into a flying trample creature with a 10/10 stat. First of all, it is a colorless card that can go into any deck. Secondly, it is an enter the battlefield trigger with no if you cast it cost. So unlike the Weave Walking, which means you can blink this and it will happen again. Thirdly, decks that don't have a good board wipe can now have access to this card. Finally, a 10/10 flying trample creature is not a joke. It can end game pretty quickly. Moreover, this is not a legendary card, so you can clone it too by playing these cards. Number 6 is Elegy Alkalite. We're back to another card draw engine in black, and this card is pretty solid. If you manage to hit 3 players, you get to draw 3 cards and loses 3 lives. So probably want this in aggressive decks like Timna and Crom, Goro and Satoru, Reef Type Extractor, and many more. It also has a void ability. If something leaves the battlefield or a spell was warped, you can create a 2/2 robot token, a card draw engine, and a token generator in a single card. Sign me up. Number 5 is Ouroboros, a powerful green card that can incrementally increase the power of your team. This card is very good. The first time you get a +1/+1 counter across the board. The next turn you get 2. The following turn you get 4. If you have ways to increase this creature's power, it will be even more insane. This is so good and you definitely want this in your Tidus, Yuna decks, Sadriel deck, or any +1/+1 counter deck. Number 4 is another green card and it is Frenzy Balor. This card has a lot of text. It can be countered. It has haste and trample. To make matter worse, your creature spell can be countered too. To rub insult to injury, combat damage can be prevented. Sorry, Teferi's Protection, Darkness, Obscuring Haze, or any fog effect cards. Those cards are useless now. All your creature spells are protected too. So sorry blue players, you can stop this unless you have other interaction spells. The only downside is 2 green pips mana to cast, which is very restrictive. But you definitely want this in any creature themed decks. Coming in third place is Exalted Sunborn. We've seen this kind of token doublers before in Elspeth, Ojatak, Mondrag, and Anointed Possession. What makes this card different is that this is a non-legendary creature. So if you can create a token copy of this card, you can go bananas. Moreover, she has a 2 mana warp ability. This means that you can pay 2 and then start doing your token shenanigan. Exalted Sunborn being able to cast for a cheaper cost is always a good option, so you can have the flexibility to cast your remaining stuff. You definitely want this in any white token decks. Coming in second place, which is somehow similar to the previous card, it is Starfield Vocalist. If you like Panharmonicon and abusing Enter the Battlefield trigger, then this card is for you. Other than Panharmonicon, we've seen this kind of ability before in Elishnon, Virtue of Knowledge, Delny for power 2 or less, and many other variants. What makes this card so different, it is the warp cost. Just like Exalted Sunborn, you can pay the warp cost for 2 and start doing your ETB shenanigans. It is the flexibility in the casting cost that makes this card so good. You definitely want this in any ETB theme deck. Coming in first place is Icetilt Explorer. This is literally exploration. Ramunap Excavator had a baby together. If you have a fetch land in your graveyard, this means you can potentially trigger all your landfall cards 4 times. Things start to get interesting if you can play Strip Mine or Wasteland twice in a single turn, which could mess up your opponent's land base. Moreover, whenever your land enters, you get the mill a card, which will fill your graveyard. If your land gets milled this way, don't worry, you have this card to help get it back. Wow, talk about a power creep in a whole new level. You want to add this in any landfall deck or any graveyard deck. And that is all for the cards that I would recommend from the main set of Edge of Eternity. Now let's talk about the Stellar Site bonus sheet, which features a lot of powerful reprints for land. Number 10 is Reflecting Pool. This is essentially another untapped land that could potentially produce color mana, but keep in mind you must have other lands that could produce those mana first. Number 9 is Deserted Temple. The ability to untap target land is very strong. Imagine you could untap Cabal Coffer, Evandor, or Utros and you have access to many mana. Number 8 is Strip Mine. Destroying people's land base is always very strong and mean to do. However, blowing out important lands like Herbor, Glacial Chasm, or any powerful lands can keep your opponents in check or slow them down. Number 7 is Thespian Stage. Copying lands ability is pretty good. Anyone on the table has these mass land producing lands like Cabal, Nykthos, or Gaia's Cradle, and you could take advantage of that. Number 6 is Inventor's Fair. You can gain a life, which is pretty okay, but the part where you could tutor up for any artifact effect at instant speed and add it to your hand is very good. Waiting for the right timing to combo off this land can help you get there. Next up, we have the High Market. Honestly, this land is used to sacrifice creature at instant speed to trigger some powerful death triggers like Kokusho, Junji, Keiga, and many other death trigger payoff. Since this is an activated or trigger ability, your opponent might not expect this. Number 4 is Grove of the Burnt Willow, another untapped land that could produce red or green mana. But in exchange, your opponent will gain a life. Most great green decks are very aggressive, so giving your opponent 1 life is not an issue. Coming in 3rd place is Ancient Tomb, a powerful land that could ram you but in exchange of 2 lives, so be careful and don't overuse it. Coming in 2nd place is Plaza of Hero, a great land to cast legendary creatures, which is pretty common in a commander game. Moreover, it could provide protection to a legendary creature too. Number 1 goes to Mana Confluence. This land can come in untapped and produce colored mana at a cost of 1 life, which in a commander game is pretty much negligible unless your life total is too low. A must-have card for any deck that has 3 or more colors. And that is all the cards you want to get from Edge of Eternity. Here are the 10 cards from the main set, and here are the 10 cards from the Stellar Side bonus sheet. What do you guys think about this set? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm always so curious to know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you like this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe. It will help grow this channel. I will talk to y'all in the next video. Bye bye.